Hi everyone, I'm here in Bali. I'm gonna be showing you today my wife's favorite dish, pumpkin gnocchi with rosemary sauce. First of all, it's a very simple dish, but it has some small details that we need to pay attention to make it very soft and really unique. So I'm gonna start first from breaking down the pumpkin. So I'm gonna slice it, putting it in the oven for around 1 hour, around 200 degrees. So once you got the slices, we place them on a tray. I will go and put them in the oven for around an hour until it's completely soft at 180 degrees. Now that the pumpkins are sliced, we're gonna just put it in the oven. No need to put salt, pepper, oil, anything, just like that. Make sure, and this is very important, that the pumpkins are good. This one smells really nice, and the color you can tell is very orange, and it's actually sweet. I sliced a little bit and it tastes sweet. Perfect. Pumpkin's ready. Now we're gonna pass it through fine chinois. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit burnt, we just use the inside, making sure we remove just what we need. Scrub all the sweet. Smells really sweet, very nice. It's gonna be a good gnocchi. Make sure there is no bits, burnt bits going into the gnocchi. We just do this with the whole thing, and then once we pass it through, we will have a very thin puree. Very good. This is gonna be a good gnocchi. Okay, now for the pumpkin gnocchi. We have the puree, and this is where it gets very technical and it's very important to pay attention. So if the puree's got a lot of liquid, you probably want to drain it. Put into a chinois like this and let it drip until the puree has more or less this consistency. I didn't dry this pumpkin puree because I think the consistency is perfect. So what we're gonna do now is add the flour, some salt, and the flour slowly, and then we're gonna just check it with boiling water. We need the gnocchi to set just enough to hold itself, but we want it to be nice and soft. That's why we don't roll it. We're gonna use a pumping bag to form the gnocchis. I add the flour, mix it. So I won't be able to tell the consistency of the final product just by looking at this. And I don't normally use a recipe because it depends on the moist and the starch of the pumpkin. I rather check every time. I can have if I have a standard pumpkin that I know is always the same, it's not watery, then it will be easier to formulate a recipe. But in this case, I rather check it every time. So once I think I added enough flour, I'm gonna put a little bit of the mix into boiling water, wait for the gnocchi to rise to the top, and then taste it and see if it holds its form, but it's nice and soft. The pumpkin itself was very sweet, so I think the flavor of the gnocchi will be really good. So you see the gnocchi, you are not able to roll it, so we're gonna need to shape it by putting it into the pumping bag and then into boiling water. Still need to wait a little bit for for the boiling water. So now we're gonna check on the gnocchi, the consistency on the gnocchi. Boiling water, I'm gonna add salt to the water. Then I'm gonna make a very small gnocchi, probably 2. As I rise to the top, I'm gonna remove them from the water. You don't want to overcook the gnocchis. If you keep them in boiling water, they will basically disintegrate. So you wanna get them as soon as they come up to the top. And if the water is boiling too hard, probably you need to slow it down a little bit. So now, it takes around 1 to 2 minutes maximum. Now they came up. They may look very soft. Oops. And not very uniform, but I think they look good. Perfect. Okay. The mix is good. Now put this aside for a minute. Now into the pumpkin bag. That should be enough. A little thicker so you don't have any air on the top or inside. So you push it to the end, and then this is very common in kitchens. Now you see there is nothing, no air bubbles inside. That's what we do in restaurants. And now that is all pushed to the end. Lid off. I cut the size more or less a centimeter diameter, and then I'm gonna drop it into the water. Don't do it from too far, otherwise the water splash and you probably burn yourself. So closer to the water, and then just push on with one hand and then cut with the other, making small gnocchis. They're gonna be very soft. So now that they are rising to the top, we just remove them from the boiling water. You better use a spoon with holes, strainer. I don't have one. Oops. They look a little bit ugly and soft, but that's fine. They will be good at the end. Okay, I'm gonna finish the sauce. I'm gonna put a bit of soy milk, make sure it's not sweet. Have a preference for a few brands, but I think as long as it's not sweet, that's fine. And then coconut cream. Coconut cream is very important that it's not split or gray. There are some brands out there that you can see are slightly split or the color is very gray. Make sure it's one that is white and uniform. So I just put basically 50-50. And then rosemary. As it warms up, it will infuse all the rosemary flavor. I will put a little bit of salt. And then we don't want it to boil it much. It will reduce slowly as we warm up the gnocchis. So the gnocchis now are in the sauce. Some of the pumpkin flavor will go into the sauce. And now I just want it to reduce a little bit, not much. I don't want the soy milk to split. It's almost there. So it's gonna be a little bit soupy. The sauce is gonna be liquid, but that's fine. I think that's enough. And I'm gonna just plate it up. Whoops. So here it is, pumpkin gnocchi with rosemary sauce. My family's favorites. Thank you very much.